Welcome to the OTech Talks podcast, where it's all about working on technologies. You will hear the latest tech information, and your host, Kashif Manzoor, brings together product overviews, how-tos, best practices, tips and tricks, and troubleshooting techniques.
Hi, good morning. This is Kashif. After a break of 2-3 months, was busy in number of activities personally and then on the job wise. So was not able to get time to speak to you guys. Here I'm again. Today I thought to discuss with you a topic on the change management in the projects and then how the implementations are happening in the cloud world, in the cloud applications, the SaaS products. Because I came with a solid background of implementation, so I always have an interest to how this transformation of SaaS products, even for implementation point of view, is happening. So what I'm going to share with you, I've put together a number of points. So primarily these will talk about on the 10 ways to win and influence tough users during the journey of cloud applications like an ERP, HCM, or any CX products, whatever you are implementing in your organization, or you are part of any project, or you part of any transformation project in your organization. And once again, just to reiterate, these are my own comments based on my personal experience, observation. So how we see nowadays a world of change where we see from the typewriter to the smartphones and the smart gadgets, all we are using it. And then from HR point of view, it transformed from HR to talent to people. Similarly, the applications point of view, we moved from legacy to cloud, and then the digital world came. So now every business and everything we're talking about is it has to go and it has to follow the digital path or digital transformation. And on the HR side, it was from CHRO to CTO, the Chief Talent Officer, and then it moved to Chief People Officer. Similarly, the CIO's roles are changing from CIOs to Chief Digital Officer or Chief Data Officers. So all these are the changes which we are seeing. So we can name it. These are all transformations are happening or leading us to drive different organizations and find our path which is unique to our organization. That's very important. Because in each organization's atmosphere and then the circumstances and the business, we have to choose a path. What is that? Is it moving from legacy to mobile or to cloud or to digital? What suits to you? Where is our audience? Where is our customer? Who we are going to serve them? We understand it takes time and we need to put a lot of pieces together to form this transformation or start even this transformation in organization. Now, if you have started or doing any cloud applications implementation project, definitely it has to go a certain life cycle of implementation, which we used to follow when we were doing e-business suite implementation or any other old application. Primarily, we were following the Oracle AIM methodology, or then with the release of eBusiness Suite, we reached to an eBusiness Suite where it was an Oracle Unified methodology. So let's first review in this transformation journey on the implementation methodology. So it's specific to the applications where we were following OUM, the Oracle Unified methodology, and with the release of SaaS products from Oracle, I've seen Oracle has introduced Cloud Application Services Oracle Unified methodology or method, that's CAS OUM. It's a lightweight approach to implement cloud services with the focus of out-of-the-box feature implementation. So in all these approaches, we usually cover all the tasks of any implementation project from start to go live, including post-production support. So all these projects we were following up. So in the short description on the Cloud Application Services OUM, so this approach is for all the SaaS products like HCM Cloud, ERP Cloud, or Sales Cloud, or any Service Cloud to cover implementation of standard out-of-the-box features and other tasks like integration, data loads, any other project-specific documentation and training. This approach has 5 phases. 1, project design. 2nd, configure. 3rd, validate. 4, transition. 5, realization. So these are the OUM method for SaaS product implementation. You can find out on my blog about the detailed steps in each phase in the project design, like plan project, conduct kickoff meeting, schedule workshops, and then conduct functional design workshops, technical design workshops. Similarly, on the configure side, the 2nd phase, it's focus on setup applications, validate configurations, load and validate data, and then so on, implement security, prepare cutover strategy. Similarly, on the 3rd phase, validate, where we need to update the setups, prepare validation scripts, load and validate data, conduct end-to-end review, prepare for training. And then the 4th one, in transition, we need to prepare or migrate configuration to production. We need to migrate integration and extensions to productions, then load, record, reconcile, or validate data in production. Similarly, conduct final validation review, and then conduct implementation checkpoint. All these steps. And in the realization, we need to manage transition to steady state operations, post go live support, handoff to customer relationship manager or whoever the project management team, gain acceptance, and close project. So this basically categorize two type of tasks. One is the core and then the optional tasks. So the core tasks are the minimum mandatory steps to implement out-of-the-box functionality of cloud application, and then optional tasks is to meet additional project-specific requirements. It can be based on your scope, situation, for example, additional training or custom integration with on-premise applications. All these optional tasks are categorized into training, documentation, extensible items, extensions, custom reports, data loads, integrations. So all these and detailed OUM specific guides are available. Now, there are very common deliverables which we use to prepare in OUM or in AIM. That was like RD50, BR100 document. So a quick comparison of few documents. Like RD50, BR100 document, the gathered business requirements, definition, application, setups. It is in the CAS OUM is MC040. It's conduct functional design workshops. Similarly, we were preparing MD50 and MD70 for the extensions or the customizations, the reports, technical objects we used to develop in eBusiness Suite. It's the equal document in the OUM is DS145, conduct technical design workshops. Then TE40, the system test scripts in AIM or OUM, it got into CAS OUM, prepare validation scripts. TE025, similarly another document, MC050 in CAS OUM, update system documentation, which was equal to BR100 document in define application setups. So all this is just to give you a short overview on the OUM side. And on the implementation approach point of view, definitely we need to, as a life cycle, we need to start for transformation project type. It must be an idea, functionality, then we need to design, maybe it's coexist with our current footprint, or we need to go incremental. Then what is the solutions, how the integrations, extensions, training processes will work. Similarly, testing phase, do we need to do a pilot, so we need to perform UAT or regression or load testing or any automate scripts. And then transition to production approach, how quick we will do it, what are the project timelines, and then the post-production support, bugs, training, and document. So overall, in any transformation project, we can see it will start from idea, design, solution, testing, transition to production, and post-production. That's how it starts. So you can see it's all about building a bridge within our organization, not a one-way road, because I mean we need to take the users, the business, and the new tools even, and the new approaches which we need to follow. So all this comes as a part of iterative and incremental steps for following the any implementation or transformation project. So now we can see this solution-driven approach to design has brought us number of benefits to us, which the primary this benefit we can see, or the rapid time to value, where we see whatever the idea we were taking up, we are able to implement quickly. For example, any customer introduced a product functionality or asked and any configure the software or anything, to start from to implementer, or even customer itself is doing it, to a quick configuration, and then follow the standard process, which are the back operations, and then you can go and move on the go live stage. So in this entire journey of transformation, the key concept is, where do we begin? Because every journey we need to start from where we stand today. We understand we will follow OUM or the typical PMI type of project implementations. That's a transactional level. But even on the business side, we need to finalize the core idea or core of our organization's benefit achieving out of any transformation project. So in journey to cloud, we can see it can be a single process. We need to take a set of processes to take, or then we need a business function, or maybe we are thinking to move end-to-end process, or even a complete transformation. So all this depends on our scenario, on which business function or a department or a organization we want to transform or start this journey. Even if you see in ERP, it's starting maybe with contracts, or even planning and budgeting, or even procure to pay process, or even when we want to think about it, complete ERP and HCM. Similarly, on the supply chain side, maybe we're thinking to take the freight invoicing process, or transportation management, or order to fulfill, or complete ERP and SCM. Or even in HCM side, we can see it's a workforce planning, recruiting, recruit to hire, or HCM and ERP complete. So this decision is a key to take, that what is important now for your organization to start the journey. We don't need to plug everything, bring everything in this transformation. Maybe we can start smaller single processes or functions, and then we gradually add other scope or other business functions or departments into this journey. And by following this approach, we can mitigate risk and business change. Then opportunity of quick business wins we can find out. We can define and prove out the solution even before implementation, and then build skills and expertise within the organization. And even on the coordination and communication side within the organization will help us to achieve these benefits. Now, for example, I'm taking as a character one, I'm Kashif, and my mandate is to business transformation. So that's my mandate. Now, part of this transformation and how to start. I have chosen my application, my transformation journey partner. Then definitely there are key areas of project management which remains same. The PMI focus area, even the scope, cost, time, communication, stakeholders, quality, risk, procurement, human resources, all these the key areas of PMI will remain and part of our journey, and then the integration or change management. Now, what I thought today to discuss with you is the change management area, because which I see is a very key, and this is the topic of that. Okay, the 10 ways to win and influence users during the journey to cloud applications. So within the change management, definitely in this transformation, it is happening in the current scenario of organization. So there will be a lot of resistance from the users and even from the business functions or the head of departments, because it is going to impact the entire organization if you're taking a complete transformation route or even a journey where the single process or business is going to be impacted. So when I searched on the internet, I found a very, very good, basically, pictorial representation that named it 50 reasons not to change. So there's no specific one reason. There are 50 reasons. I'm not sure my boss would like it. It's too ambitious. We don't have the equipment. We don't budget for it. What is it for me? They wouldn't find it, and all that. It's a very good source of reasons, and I will put the link in the show notes. It's someone written in 2007. Now, based on that, I landed into a framework introduced by Dr. Roth. Now, the framework is called as 20-60-20 rule. It's framework introduced by Dr. Roth Nephew many years ago. So what it does, that the framework assumes 20% of people in most of the organizations are positives people who have an optimistic view of things. They are great team players and generally work hard in service of the organization's mission and goals. In some special organizations, there might be a 30 or even 40% of these type of people or who will fall in this category. But generally, 20% of the folks are positive in most of the organizations. So we say 20-60-20, mean 20% are the positive people. Now, another 20% are the negatives. Being a negative has everything to do with attitude. These individuals tend to be cynical, pessimistic, and complain a lot about everything. An example of a negative would be someone who just learned that they won a $42 million in the national lottery, and the response to this wonderful luck would be, I have to pay taxes on that. So these are 20%. Now, there are definitely several ways to influence these. They have these negative people, and they are often very smart. They have often very speak truth to the power. And then a lot of areas. And the middle 60% are the regular folks who need direction and attention by their leaders. So this is where the real leverage in any organization lies, because if a leader can get the middle 60% aligned with the 20% positives, they can move their organization forward in powerful and constructive ways. So that's 20-60-20. Positive 20%, negative 20%, and 60% are undecided. So we need to tap these users during transformation. So as a transformation leader, you need to tap these users. You need to influence these users, target these users so they can be with the 20% of positive attitude. And then there's a path to that whenever a new user or anyone will see a new thing, it will feel very overwhelmed, and then it goes, I'm not sure how I'm going to do it or how I can handle this, and then it goes down, we can't do this, and then it starts actually from maybe it get better, and then even it's more getting better, and then the way it's more effective. So that's the path usually goes with the users. So as a transformation leader, you need to follow, you need to influence these users. Now, then there is another point or a theory on the behavioral sides. That's how we can see is then another now after following this equation, when I moved into the next one, there's another is equation of change, which is from Richard Packard and Robin Harris. It's a change of equation. It is very famous, called it. It's a DVFR. So it's a change model where DVFR is basically dissatisfaction with the status quo. V is the vision of positive possibility, more that the absence of pain in the present situation. F is first steps in the direction of the vision. R is resistance to change. So it's equal to behavior. Behavior corresponds to perception, multiply into information or plus experience. So that's how the equation of change define that you need to focus on these through this equation to handle it. And on the more detailed, I will write in the show notes of this podcast, because this is quite comprehensive and very detailed change of equation theory, which you need to read out in a free time. But my point was to just mention here that we need to change the perception of the users, and how it becomes is from the information and experience which they have with any application or with any business process or any transformation project. So then if we categorize these users in resistance, we can see it's 4 types: individual issues, system issues or application issues, organizational issues, and then process issues. And definitely as a management strategy, we need to counter these 4 types of resistance or 4 types of objections from different users or different stakeholders of the organization. Now, if we will see what are the management strategies in any organization, we can see there are 3 main pillars: effective planning and direction, effective communication, effective education and support. Effective planning and direction, we understand it has to be clear plan, and then understanding of the processes and systems. And when we see planning and direction, it has to be align business processes, then the leadership and the stakeholders, then develop the roadmap, the strategic or experiment or bing bang or crawl, walk, run, or all these type of roadmap we need to define. And then on the business first thinking, cloud is just not a new IT platform. It's a new way of thinking how you would run the enterprise of the future, provides an opportunity to standardize and simplify business processes requirement. And then the become cloud aware, it's how the cloud offerings, how it operates, how you are the digital enabler within the organization. So all this fall under the effective planning and direction. And then definitely as effective planning, we need to follow the Project Management Institute's guidelines, the PMI guidelines, so that's PMP stuff. And that's very, very, very unique and comprehensive to follow and ensure any project or any transformation implementation. But we need to add the digital or the social type of or social way of managing this. So now going back to our root causes or the main objections which we used to get, which fall under 4 types. One is individual issues or system issues, and then 3 is the organizational issues, and the 4th is the process issues. So out of these 4, we need to take it up each individually, and we need to focus on how to fix it. Now, for example, on high level, I will share with you a few of the thoughts on each point. Clearing on the individual issues, it can be uncertainty, it can be ignoring users' input it can be due to loss of control, power, or prestige, or it can be self-efficacy, or it can be ownership of all processes. So all these we need to take it up individually and address them, take a unique path, to talk to the users and provide them wherever, if even they're empowering them or training or support, whatever. So as a transformation leader, you need to focus on these areas. Now, second point is applications or systems issues. So it can be technical problems or due to complexity of the new process which we are working on it, or it leading this transformation, or you need to work on these also to fix them. Third is on the organizational organizational issues or organizational areas where it can be a culture, communication, maybe the communication is not clear, it's a closed loop cycle, or site visits, how we are doing it. Then it can be training, that we are not providing proper training. So you need to address all these type of issues which are falling under the organizational category. And the fourth is the process issues. It can be due to jobs and skills change, or a workload on the employees or the department during this transformation project, or lack of it, that due to the new wave of processes or new wave of digitization, the individual is not fit for the job. So all these type of things, to fix four type of resistance, we need to take individually, separately, and draw a strategy to fix them and to work on them. It's your call how you can take it up. Either you can take it up style of leadership from, if you talk about directive or participative, or even consultative, or even cohesive. So all this fall under your umbrella, that how to take it up. But these are again, even on the change leadership point of view, these are the four styles: participative, consultative, cohesive, directive. Which one you choose, it just depends upon the situation. So to summarize our today's topic, maybe we don't need to go with the waterfall strategy, which was earlier our primary strategy to implement the projects or design or follow the model of sequential, where we used to take it was a common model of software development process in the waterfall strategy or waterfall process. But now with the new way of working, the cloud applications and digitization and the digital processes, the social media, we need to go with the agile methodology, where we will design, build, test, prototype it, and we test it, and then short passage or short phases of our entire transformation, and then go on to the next phase or go on to the second version, whatever you name it. And then throughout this process, we will go with the change management and ensure that we will fix these 50 reasons not to change of that. And all this, the project management principles of all good project management still applies. So we need to scale out to reflect more significant activities which are required. Definitely we need to adhere to standard operating procedures and practices, whatever the size and complexity of the project. So all we need to follow from the key artifacts like project charter, resource plan, governance, project plan, risk issue, design logs, importance of sign-offs and key milestones. So even in the transformational projects, we need to consider all these areas, and then maybe we need to keep in mind how to ensure with our own personal skills as a project leader or the transformation leader to ensure that this journey succeeds, and along with the business users, we both work for organization objective to achieve what we are looking from this digital transformation. So these are a few of my thoughts based on some research on the Google, and then due to time constraint, I have kept it short. And then thank you so much for listening. Feel free to share your feedback with me on the comments, and you can find out this podcast on otechtalks.tv/session 24, and whatever I talks on the different references I will put in the show notes on the session 24. And let's work together. Let's work on our transformation journeys in the organization, where the social media, the digital, the cloud, all this is impacting entire organization, entire information technology, our area where we work and we live on that. Thank you so much once again. Keep in touch. Feel free to reach me if in any way I can help you. And I'm very, very delighted to see a lot of your comments or the emails, messages to me on a number of my sessions, which I have already shared on this otex.tv. And it's the platform just to learn and share from each other. There's nothing, any other agenda behind this.
Thanks for listening to the OTech Talks podcast, and be part of Tech Talks at otechtalks.tv. It's a turf to share ideas, insights, and innovations.